Hey guys, we're back and we've got some news today.
But first, can I just say, Sam, that you are looking particularly fabulous today.
I am looking very fabulous. When I was getting ready today, I thought to myself, how can I look extra fabulous? Wear pink. Because I know someone else...
It really suits you, this colour, Sam, can I just say? Like, it suits you in many ways.
Many ways.
On many levels.
And look at the comment section now blow up. Like, what are you trying to insinuate?
But do you know who this colour does not suit?
Well, apparently it doesn't suit someone by EA standards, but I'm going to let you finish this, because I don't know who you're talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, it appears as though EA does not believe that we have the right to a pink Darth Vader.
What's up? I'm Bruno.
Okay, so,
Guys, we're back.
we have so much news today on our favourite publisher, EA. We love talking about these guys. They're the gift that keeps on giving. Good old EA.
We usually make 10-minute videos. We're going to dedicate about 9 minutes to the fact that we love pink. We love pink Vader. We love pink Darth Vader. All right, so we want to see it.
I find your lack of
Fabulous.
disturbing.
We have to start at the beginning though, so you know what the fuck we're talking about.
enough.
The CFO of Electronic Arts, he got up and spoke at an investors conference recently. So just imagine a whole bunch of investment bankers sitting there listening to the CFO of EA talking about the business, okay? They're really just there to talk about the money. They don't give a shit about video games. They're like, how much do these video games make? Are you going to make more money or less money next year? Tell us about the money. They don't care about anything else, right? So Blake Jurgensen, his name is. Already an interesting name.
I can make a joke there, but I won't.
Blake Jurgensen got up and he basically said a few really interesting things, okay? First of all, he says that there are no plans to change EA's core strategy. Which is already a pretty inflammatory thing to say, given how much of a clusterfuck this has been.
We will get back to that, because that statement alone is enough for anyone that has money invested in EA shares to be like, hang on, time to get the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, basically EA's strategy, what he's talking about is microtransactions that are about pay to win. I did a video recently on my other channel called the Wilson Loot Box.
Upsell.
That's right, I was just like, just check that one out, it's in the description below. But it was very much about this idea that EA have been doing this since 2009. Their business has been involved in pay to win. They've been selling pay to win across their FIFA Ultimate Team since day dot. It's remarkably successful. It makes them $800 million a year plus, probably more than that now because those numbers are a bit old. It's a phenomenally successful product, and EA's entire mission since about 2012 is about how do we get that shit into all the other shit we have. And 2017 was the year that they jammed it into Need for Speed, and they jammed it awkwardly into Star Wars as well, and it just broke the game.
Yeah, just quickly, like if they jammed it into Need for Speed, I reckon it would have been like under the radar. But
no one
it
cares.
was
Yeah,
Star Wars Battlefront
yeah.
that really tipped it over the edge.
It was 100%. So EA have no plans to change their microtransaction model. They say they're listening and learning, but he did say very clearly there's no plans to change. They're just going to find new ways to implement these microtransactions in the future. And then the obvious question is, well, you know, pay to win, we don't like that. Why don't you just make it cosmetic? That's what everyone says. So what do you think old mate Blake Jurgensen said about cosmetics, Sam?
I reckon what he said was, let's implement, right, some cosmetic coding, keep it in the background.
That's right, true.
Right? Not actually implement it. So I'll elaborate. What they've done, Ralph told me this before, is they've actually already coded a cosmetic menu for loot boxes. So like...
No, not loot boxes.
Sorry.
Customization.
Yeah, sorry. Cosmetic
It's
customization.
just like every sentence ends with the word loot box now.
Yeah, sorry. But it clearly shows that they're really anticipating if it really hits the fan, they'll be like, fine, just do cosmetics. So like... You know,
so that was data mined in the actual Star Wars Battlefront 2 client. You can go in there and see it right now. You can't, but data miners can. They can find this hidden menu that shows customization, cosmetic customization. Okay, so we know it's already there, sort of. But Blake Jurgensen says that they have to work within the constraints of the Star Wars license because people expect realism. And he said, well, you know, there's only so much we can do. You wouldn't want to have a pink Darth Vader.
One look! One look! I don't think so! There it is. Magnum! Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God. It's beautiful.
I mean, no offense to pink, he says, but pink is not the color for Darth Vader.
And then Bruno was just like, what? I would love to see a pink Darth Vader.
I would pay so much money
I would pay
for
$40 to see just to play once with pink Darth Vader.
So true.
Look, the idea that we don't want to see cosmetic skins on these Star Wars characters is ludicrous. If
crazy.
anything, it's the strongest IP I can think of that you want to be able to play in those different outfits that you did see in all those different
It's not about
different movies.
Okay, look, I agree. Pink Vader would be hilarious.
Disagree.
Well, and I probably
Disagree.
think it maybe. Look, I can understand how you think it'd be a bit too far, right? The idea that we need to maintain realism, though, everyone's this example of like you're playing with Darth Maul and Rey in a timeline when those areas weren't even around. There's heaps of examples of how this game breaks canon.
I can tell you now that his voiceover would be, "I find your lack of fabulous disturbing."
It's true, it would be actually. So look, I do see the practical limits of where you can go with this, but there's so many different costumes that Star Wars characters have worn over the years that you could bring into this game. There's so many different artistic impressions
100%.
which are true to the canon spirit that you could also bring in. So this idea that we have to do pay-to-win loot boxes because you can't do cosmetics is fucking
Like, there's so many I can think of. Number one, Han Solo when he's wearing the Stormtrooper outfit, sexy Leia.
sexy Leia.
Luke
We'd
Skywalker,
all pay big money for that.
Luke Skywalker when he was just a farm boy. How cool's that? Right?
That's true.
Stuff like that.
That's true.
Jabba the Hutt in Nothing.
I'm dead sexy. Oh yeah.
Well, he's already wearing Nothing.
He's already wearing it. He's just got that dog collar
that
on.
thing,
you know?
and he's just like tongue
And he's
hanging out
like,
and shit. Oh, choked. Oh, Dominatrix.
Dominatrix
Jabba.
Leia.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Like a combo that can only spawn at the same time.
Yeah.
And she like walks him around on a leash. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
hectic. So look, anyway, Blake Jurgensen, you're an idiot. Okay, but his idiocy,
sum it up.
his idiocy does go further, and this is perhaps the worst part of all of this. He said that on the closure of Visceral Studios, a few weeks ago, EA closed Visceral. They made Dead Space in the past, Dead Space 1 and 2, amazing games. Dead Space 3, very average game because EA basically fucked it up. They closed the studio while they were working on a single-player Star Wars game that was being headed up by Amy Hennig, who was the former head of the Uncharted series over at Naughty Dog, okay? This trailer looked fantastic. The gameplay looked amazing. It was going to be an awesome single-player Star Wars title. They canned it and they closed that studio. And Blake Jurgensen says, well, the reason we did that is because people don't like playing single-player games now as much as they used to 5 or 10 years ago. You cannot make this stuff up.
Say that to Nintendo.
Say that to
Nintendo.
Mario Odyssey. Say that to Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
Wolfenstein.
Say that to Wolfenstein.
Bethesda, you know, like...
Nier Automata. Say that... This is just the 2017 games, by the way.
Yes.
Say that to Prey. Say it to Hollow Knight. Say it to Divinity, Original Sin 2. Say it to, like, Golf Story on the Nintendo Switch.
Say it to PUBG.
Shut up!
Sorry.
So it's like, that's a single player game, right?
I'm like, that's single player, isn't it? It's like Overwatch.
So I never see anyone else. They just run
like
around in cars. That's right.
Yeah.
And then I get disconnected.
I always die from fall damage. I thought the fall damage was the enemy.
Boss, yeah. But, you know, the idea that single-player games, no one buys them. Literally, the top 10 games of the year, any Game of the Year list that you compile, it's pretty much just single-player games this year.
Yep.
The multiplayer games that came out this year, the big ones, included Destiny 2.
Fantastic game.
We had Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Very fair.
We had Call of Duty, which actually was better than the average Call of Duty, but let's be real, it was still a Call of Duty game. You had, PUBG was last year, early access release. What else you got? Other big multiplayer games. We had, Lawbreakers. I mean, you're right.
I forgot. That
We
actually
totally
won
forgot
every
about-
single category of
That's right.
failing.
So savage.
So savage. We keep doing it, but we love it.
It just proves how out of touch these guys are that they would say that we can't do cosmetics in Star
100%.
Wars, and now they're saying people don't like single-player games. The truth is, EA, people don't like your single-player
100%.
games. Mass Effect Andromeda came out this year, and it didn't sell well because it was a shitty
You know
Mass
why?
Effect
Because every
game.
time you turn it on, you'd just be looking at this weird face. You'd be like, I'm going to turn this off now.
I'm scared.
I feel weird looking at it.
I don't want to go there.
It's so weird.
Everybody knows you never go full retard. You went full retard, man.
But it just shows how out of touch they really are. I mean, for the CFO to come out and make statements like that, it's so clear that he has no idea of what gaming is still, you know, what gaming is in 2017. Yes, of course, it's moving slightly towards a different type of multiplayer. potentially in terms of the longevity of multiplayer games is probably slightly different now.
Definitely,
In terms of, it's not like Counter-Strike where you just want to play the same type. You want a sense of progression in your multiplayer, 100%. But single player is here to stay.
Man.
It is here to stay, people, and they are out of touch.
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
It has dominated this year. 2017 has been one of the most phenomenal years ever for single-player experiences. All this talk that single-player games are dead is lies, by the way. It's just rubbish being peddled by, people just trying to be sensationalist. Look at the top 10 games of this year. Look at any game of the year list. They are single-player games because they are amazing and they all deserve their place.
If multiplayer was the Jabba the Hutt, then Leia would be the single player just choking the shit out of it. Because the truth is, yes, there are so many more single-player games that are dominating the market, 100%. Yeah, no, okay.
There is one silver lining, okay? EA stock price, the thing against which EA CEO Andrew Wilson is going to be most specifically measured, is tanking at the moment. It's down $15 in the last month on its previous high of $119. It's falling fast. CNBC put out an article recently saying that, that they're really tanking. Their company's lost over $3 billion worth of value in the last month alone on the back of the scandal.
You're up $1 million. Yes! And now you've lost all but $600. You got greedy.
EA.
So don't think that we're not winning. We are absolutely
100%.
winning. And a lot of that is to do with the fact that, this is Wilson's business model that he's built. These microtransaction Wilson loot boxes, as I call them in my other video. And it's all
another
about
upsell. Continue.
It's all about gambling. It's all about that. That's what the house of EA has been built on. And now it's under threat because governments might outlaw it or regulate it. And that's just disastrous to EA.
Yeah, but more than that, it's a business now not built on IP and quality of the IP growing onto number 2 and number 3 and number 4 of that IP. It's all about the loot box, right?
Correct.
And I mean, personally, I honestly think that that Andrew Wilson's job is massively at risk now, because if it continues to go down, they're going to start looking at him and going, dude, yes, you've made us... Look, firstly, I want to say that EA and the shareholders, of course, are going to be very upset if they have to let him go, because he has made a lot of money for them.
Wilson! Wilson! Wilson!
Like 50.
Let's be honest.
He's made a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah.
But I have to say that, if they continue to see that share price go down, there's no real choice than to completely change the direction that EA is going. It cannot be, another year of the loot box for EA in 2018. There's no way. I mean, if they did it,
hopefully not. I hope you're right.
But they'd be stupid to now. They'd be stupid to.
But look, we are hitting them where it hurts. EA speaks one language, moolah.
I'm not afraid.
You will be.
And we are taking it away from them. Last
100%.
month we've taken away $3 billion worth of value of that company, and this is how we show our outrage. And it's by about being consistent in this message and voting with our wallets. Like, we have to continue this fight by not buying this shit. I was speaking to one YouTuber today, by the way, who was like literally complaining about these loot boxes for weeks, and then he all of a sudden said to me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I own EA stock." I'm like, "Why the fuck would you own EA stock?" And he said, "It makes me a lot of money." No, he literally said, "It makes me a lot of money." And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously.
Scope, I suppose, he actually has
on the stock.
But I tell you now, if the share price massively drops more and then they come out with a statement saying, going forward, it'll only be IP-driven and no more loot boxes, I'm then putting some money in those shares, because that is going to go up again, I can guarantee.
EA have a lot of potential as a company
100%.
to make great games if they want to. They have some fantastic studios behind them, and if they had the right focus, I would absolutely back them to the hilt. I would love to be able to say EA is on the right track, but right now they are not, and the only way we can help get them back on the right track is if we keep on this shit, and we keep talking about
100%.
this, and we keep taking shareholder value away, because that's the only thing they care about. That is the hope, ladies and gentlemen, and you will certainly hear all of the reports here.
No spin
this
zone.
Is Sam with his pink shirt.
Looking fabulous.
And
looking
Skill
fabulous
Up
as always.
signing off. We will see you next time.
See you later.